Hey friend, welcome to Vocal Warm-Up Series 4, Articulation. Hi, I'm Kate Glasheen. I'm a voice and dialect coach, and today I'll be leading you through the final part of a basic vocal warm-up series. You can learn more about me at kateglasheen.com, and if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe below. Let's get started. So we've warmed up the voice and body, and now it's time to warm up your articulators. So start by just giving yourself a little bit of a face massage, just warming up all the muscles around your face. And forgive me, it takes some muscle tension to smile, so I might look a little sad as we do this, and so will you. Get into your temples there, and up around your forehead, and around your eyes. Remember to keep breathing as you do this. And also take care to bring your hands to your face and not your head to your hands. We want to keep a nice long neck spine like we found in part 1. And moving down into your jaw. And go ahead and let your jaw just get nice and floppy. Keep breathing. And you can take the heels of your hands and gently draw down on your jaw. And now we're going to do something that I like to call tongue boot camp, which I completely stole from a friend, and that's okay. And you might know it as cleaning your teeth. So you're going to run your tongue around your teeth twice to the right, twice to the left, once to the right, and once to the left. And try to let your tongue do the movement. Try to keep your jaw as still as possible, although you can't keep it totally still. Here we go. And then shake that out. And you might feel a little tense underneath or a little pain. So you can take your thumb and just kind of rub around underneath your jaw there. Give your tongue root a massage. And then we'll go ahead and do a little tongue stretch. So imagine that this hand is my bottom teeth and this is my tongue. So the tip of my tongue is going to go behind my bottom teeth and the tongue is going to sort of cascade out between the teeth. Now it is a stretch, but don't force it. It doesn't feel good to push too hard. So again, it'll just kind of cascade out. Take it nice and easy and just do it a few times. It'll look like this. Just a nice tongue stretch you can do. And then let's also kind of loosen it up a little bit. We just released some tension with tongue boot camp. And so tip of the tongue behind your lower teeth again, and just go ya 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 ya. Ya 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 ya. Ya 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 ya. Sounds kind of funny, looks even funnier, but it's just again to loosen up that tongue and get it ready to articulate. Let's also bring in the soft palate, and so as though you were speaking the end of an ing word like running, go ahead and bounce the back of your tongue and your soft palate together like this. Nga, 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 nga. You can do that on whatever pitch is helpful for you. You don't even have to voice. You can do that too. And so we've just gotten our tongue and our soft palate fairly warmed up. If you thought what we just did looked silly, let's do one more thing that's even sillier. So you're just going to think about bringing your face as small as it can be and then opening up as wide as it can be. And we're just going to make a mwah sound with it. So mwah, mwah. One more. Mwah. Yeah, just kind of waking all this up, getting it ready to really move. Now that your tongue is nice and loose, you can try doing some tongue trills and sirening that way. Or if trilling your tongue is not quite in your wheelhouse, you can also try blowing your lips together. So trilling the tongue and sirening sounds like this. Or blowing the lips together, it sounds like this. So whichever one works for you, do a couple of those. Both trilling the tongue and blowing through the lips not only keeps working your articulators, but it also really gets your breath flowing. And we haven't talked about breath in a few minutes, so it's a good reminder just to really get that breath moving and be in touch with it. You can't trill your tongue or blow your lips like that without really having some good breath support. Once you've warmed up your articulators, there are a ton of great articulation exercises already around. Some classics like red leather, yellow leather, or Irish wristwatch. You can repeat those several times. There are some longer ones like Peter Piper packed a peck of pickled peppers, or pack of pickled peppers. Anyway, there are several phrases to that. My other favorite is unique New York. New York's unique. You know you need unique New York. If you don't know it, I'll go ahead and teach it to you now. So you do unique New York. New York's unique. You know you need. Unique, you know. Oh, I just did it. And that's the danger. Unique New York, not unique New York. That's what'll get you. I'm going to leave this mistake in because, hey, it happens to us. That's the point of tongue twisters, right? Tongue twisters are great, but eventually you will probably master them. So it's always good to have some new ones to use, or I also like using certain articulation lines that continue to challenge you because you can keep trying to get more and more on one breath. I'll teach you a couple of them right now. They're made up of voiced and voiceless consonant pairings. So the first one is pa, ba, ta, da, ka, ga, ta, da. So you always return to ta, da. So it goes paba, ta, da, kaga, ta, da, paba, ta, da, kaga, ta, da, paba, ta, da, kaga, ta, da. If you like, or if you're a kinesthetic learner, it's also helpful to kind of place them in the air in front of you. So you could do paba, tada, kaga, tada, and put tada in the center here because you return to it. Paba, tada, kaga, tada, paba, tada, kaga, tada, paba, tada, kaga, tada. Now that may not seem that difficult, but when you speed it up, it gets much harder. And you want to get clarity first and speed second. And so when it goes faster, it sounds like this. Paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada. And the goal is to get 20 on one breath. So then it becomes much faster. Paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada, paba-tada kaga-tada. Now that was only 4, but you'll see how you could get to 20 going that speedily. The second one is fava, shaja, saza, shaja. So we'll slow that down. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Sh as in sh, like sh, and zh as in measure. So they're both speech sounds that we use all the time. We just don't usually hear them taken out of words very often. So one more time. Fa, va, sha, ja, sa, za, sha, ja. And again, placing it in the air in front of you. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Linking that all up, it becomes fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. Fava, shaja, saza, shaja. And that one you want to get 15 on one breath. And that'll sound a lot faster as well. So you can see how those sounds are a little bit trickier perhaps than pabatada kagatida because of how slushy, let's say, they are. So the great thing about these types of articulation lines is that even when you've mastered them, you've gotten 20 or 15 on one breath, you can keep going. You keep going for clarity and then try to get more and more repetitions on one breath. The thing I love about articulation exercises is that they also work on your breath capacity and hone your mental focus. Speaking of focus, I always recommend after doing a physical and vocal warm-up, doing some sort of centering exercise. Now there are a lot of options out there, and I just recommend doing something that's calming but also energizing. You don't want to make yourself sleepy and relaxed right before you perform. So I'll leave it up to you to figure out what works best for you, but for now, I hope you're feeling vocally warm and ready.